Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of Factorio for Beginners. Off camera I started finishing up these little smelters here. I didn't quite finish completely, but I did do a good amount here. So let's just finish this up real quick so we can start looking at what comes next, which would be automation of certain things that we would like to have. Now we're gonna need, did I put all of these in? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna make a bunch of those. We have iron coming in, and we're about to have copper coming in, and as you can see, all of these smelters are getting filled with stuff. Not all the way down here because we don't have that many miners, and we'll need to add more. I made a bunch of those off camera. Unfortunately, we're running out of coal here, which could get tricky pretty soon. Now if we look at our power, we can see that we're actually almost hitting the cap of our power, so we're gonna have to upgrade that a little bit. So let's go ahead and do so. We will have another one of those right here, and pop down 2 more of those. And do I have another burner sir? I do. Cool. There we go. So now we've just doubled our power, and we won't really need to worry about that for a little bit longer. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect our copper so we can at least get that started. And let's see, we're gonna need copper coming in here. There we go, that'll get our copper going. And as soon as we connect power to it, and let me see. You can see as you build more things in your inventory, this thing gets pretty gunked up, which is why we want to work towards getting a better automated production line going for us that can make things so that we don't, so that when we absolutely need to make something in our hands or in our bags or whatever, we won't need to worry too much about not having power or not having the clogged up line of things that we need to make. Okay, so copper's coming in, which is really exciting, and go ahead and put in some of these belts here, or these. We'll need to connect that to power. And let's at least get these smelting. So even if we don't have the output arms, there's at least something happening. And while this is happening, we should probably make more. Cool. And let's see, why couldn't we make more? We need more iron. Let's pull some iron from there. And there we go. Okay, so what are these things? Let me see, how many arms are in this? It's 4 each, 1, 2, so it's 8 each, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, times 8. It's a lot of fucking irons, or a lot of arms is what it is. Alright, let's get these started. so we can have at least some output for now. And let's finish up these last two here. Cool. Alright, so check it out. We have iron and copper, quite a bit of it. Now what can we do with this stuff? Well, what are we having to make a lot of? It looks like we have to make a lot of these arms. It also looks like we have to make a lot of gears, as you can see down here, so those things are kind of helpful. Or we can just have them straight up make belts. We're also going to need to continue making science packs, because we did get rid of that. So let's think about that. How do we want this to go? We still don't see any enemies on our radar yet, so but we may want to start thinking about building up turrets and ammo, and we'll definitely want to use assembling machines for that. So how do we want to do this? Let's take these lines, and I think I'm going to take the lines and go down this way. Oh, these cliffs are kind of a burn. But that will allow us. Is there a cliff all the way over here too? Shit. Okay. We'll work around them, that'll be fine. So what I want to do is I want to get things made here. Let's get some more belt, and basically what I want to have is I want to have like a line of iron here and like a line of copper here, so we can connect these down, and then what we can do is we can take our materials off these lines as we need them. And that way we could build little factory here, and then further down pull off more resources off the line, build a factory here, build a factory here, maybe build some up here. So let's go about doing that. I'm gonna need quite a bit more iron to make things in my hands real quick. Okay. And I'm going to need some of these assembling machines. I have 2 already. Now, what do we even want to research next? We might need to use filter inserters. Actually, we're definitely going to need to use that because we're running out of coal, and we're going to need to be able to filter. Actually, we could just use splitters for that, so maybe that's not the best move. Maybe we should work on some military so we can get a submachine gun in case anyone does come and attack us. Alright, so let's set up our little science area. I'll do it up here, I think, close to these smelters. Actually, we may not want to do that. Let's just go down, because I may want to put more smelter lines here, right? We may want to double the iron one or double the copper one, do some more iron, like the exact same layouts basically, but have them so that they are so that we have more than one, but we'll need to put down more miners for that. So we don't need to worry about that yet. So let's just think about how we want to do this. Put that there, I guess. And let's see. So what do we need? We needed, again, let's work backwards, right? So we have, for our science packs, we needed, what again? Copper plate and gear wheels. So let's look about this real quick by like the numbers. Science packs take 5 seconds to make. One, right? And we need 1 gear wheel and 1 copper plate. And gear wheels, they take 2 iron plates, but we can make 2 per second, right? So, and then the copper plates we already have. So if we wanted to make, say, 1 science pack per second, which that's kind of just an arbitrary thing, so you wanted to make 1 per second, then you would need 5 assembling machines making science packs, and we would need to ensure that we have 5 iron gear wheels every second, right? And so we can make 2 per second with 1 machine, so we could use 2 iron gear wheel machines to do that, but I don't think we're really that concerned with it. So let's just put down 1, and we'll have this, put that there like that, and we'll have this making gears, which then we'll take, I'm going to need to make more assembling machines here. And what am I out of? I need more iron. If you hold F, you can pick things up off the ground. So if I just run over the line, I can make stuff. 5 of those. And what these will be making are science packs. So let's say we want to have 3, 4, 5. And so I want to make these ones to be science packs. And what's cool is I can shift right click to copy. You see it's highlighted green now, and then I can shift left click to paste, which is really nice for being able to copy properties from one object to another. And let's see, I'm going to need another line here of copper. Right. Technically doesn't need to go that far, but cool. So, oh shit, wait. We need 1 of each, right? We need it to be half. So, let's actually move this over by 1. Move that there. And we'll have that come down again, just like this, just like before. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this feed onto a belt here. And we'll have this one come down and side load. So that way, oh no, again, wrong way. Gotta be careful here. Okay, wrong way again. Okay, so we're gonna have this, the arm will feed it to the right side, so this is actually incorrect. So we would rather have this come down this way. It's kind of janky, but it's the jank I live for. And can have that go there. There we go. That will feed those bad boys. Okay, and pop that out. And you know what? This is very typical of Factorio. I'm actually going to move these to the other side completely. Okay, because well, I want it coming out the other way, and I'll show you why very shortly. Okay, let's do this again. Here we go. Alright, got the assembling machine, and this is, I guess I didn't need to delete all the machines, but I should have moved the power poles. Okay, so I actually want the input coming in on the left side, and I want the output over here. We'll do it that way instead. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This actually doesn't need to be there like that. So the output for the science packs will be right there. And we can just pop that. Let's put that there instead. Okay. So this will be gears and this will be science packs. There we go. And this can still go here like that. That's fine. And we're actually going to move this back. We'll have this coming out of there, like this. And that'll be on the far left side. And so we'll need our copper coming in on the right. This could be a tight squeeze. I don't know if we can do this. Let's find out. And we can. Okay, cool. A little bit of jank city, but that's okay, guys. Alright. Let's connect this up to power. And we should get gears flowing. Oh, and we're going to need more arms. More inserters here. Because we need to feed these with the gears. There we go. So these things should dump science packs out, and boom, there we have it. So we can have these come down here like this, and just like before, we can have our labs. We may not want to put them right here in case we ever want to like add more, right? So we can do a couple things. We could actually have the science labs somewhere else, maybe like back here. For now, I guess that'll work for now. Of course not. Okay, here we go. We'll get these science labs there. And like that. And there we go. Now we can make science, and those will continue crafting science packs at around 5 per second. It's not quite exact because the gear machine 0.5. Oh, actually, these things may make things faster than we can in our hand. I think these actually make them twice as fast. So, since we can make 2 gear wheels per second in our hands, we can actually make 4 gear wheels per second from these, as long as they're getting enough iron, which it looks like I may want to put another arm there. Sweet. Alright, cool. Hopefully that's enough. If not, I can add more. But there we go, science. Alright, so we got some science going. That's awesome. Now, let's leave a little space because as you can see, there are green science packs, and those are actually quite complicated. We can go ahead and work on those. Yeah, why not? We need transport belts and we need inserters. So transport belts need iron plate and iron gear wheels. That's fine. Inserters need iron plate, iron gear wheels, and electronic circuits, which we can't make in assembling machine ones. We need the second assembling machines. And where is that? I think we need to get electronics so that we can get automation 2. Yes. Okay, that's kind of a pain in the ass. But we'll set it up for now, and we'll get it going. That way we can at least get some belts being made, because I have to keep making these in my inventory, and it's driving me insane. Let's do that. Let's get... let's make all of those, I guess. So, how we're going to have this is we need gears and iron plate. So we'll have to have another gear machine, and we'll also have to have iron coming into the machine that's making the transport belts. So as soon as we get one, I can show you how we're going to set this up. Inserters are going to be a little bit more complicated because they need plate, gear wheels, and they also need electronic circuits, which need iron plate and copper cable, which copper cable needs copper plate to make. So that gets a little more complex, but let's go ahead and figure this out. Let's say we want, we're going to want our like green science things here, right? So we'll have like our green science outputting onto that belt. Again, working backwards here. And I'm shift clicking so that I'm not wasting my resources in my inventory, but I can at least put the blueprint down for later. And this will help. Okay, so we'll need that, and then obviously we're going to need to feed these things with both belts and inserters. I'm thinking we may want to come up from the bottom with those. I could be wrong. I might change my mind later, but for now, leave it like that. Okay, so let's see, how do we get these gears? Or the belts. We're gonna need gears, right? And the belts take half a second, and they need 1 iron plate and 1 gear wheel, and the gear wheels also take half a second. So it's a pretty perfect ratio there. If we continue these lines, this could not come at a better time. I'm so tired of making these belts by hand. Okay. If we split this off here, well, let's think about this in kind of a different way, because it's always fun to like try and figure out a new cool way to do things. Let's actually swap these. I'll have this one making belt, and if I click that reset arrow, I can have this make belt, and I can have this make gears. Let's say I have iron coming in, right? I need to pull iron off for both of these, because the gear wheels need iron, and the assembling machine, or the belts need iron, but the belts also need the gear wheels. If you remember from before, we have these long-handed inserters, which can reach a much farther distance. And I think if we put a little underground belt there, that should allow the iron to flow, and I'm pretty sure that we can, this is off by 1, I'm pretty sure that we can pick up iron off of this space. Even though it's like the underground portion, I'm pretty sure the inserters can still grab. You know, I knew I was going to change my mind. Then again, we still need to make the other things. Let's just deal with it for now. Okay. So there we have it, and that's like a pretty easy way to make to make belts. And the best part about this is that we can just pick this thing up and just place it down again if we wanted to. Let's actually put in some power poles so that we know. Put it like that, and then we'll place it there, I guess. Boom. Actually, wait. One more thing. We need to have the arm coming out here. And like I said, I knew I was going to change my mind. We'll do that for now. Okay. And the cool part is, as I was saying, is we can take this whole blueprint here, and we can just slap it down again if we need more, right? And just like that, we have like a really compact way of making belts, which could not have come at a better time, like I've been saying. Let's see how's that going. It's a little slow because of the long-handed inserter. Like had I been doing this a different way, could probably be feeding that a lot faster. Like probably double the speed there. For example, if I had gears here and that there, and of course I'm out of belt, but it's all over here on this belt. For example, if I had gears here and so this is making gears and this is making belts, and I had that directly feeding into it like that, might be able to make things a lot faster. Oh, might actually have a bit of a way to fix this. If we get rid of this and put that there instead, and I'll have to add that. This can now make gears faster. What happened? Oh, it's full. That's actually a bit faster. But it looks like this one's just constantly churning along. The slow point is still the gears, interestingly enough. But there we have it. We have some belts. Let's electronics just finished, which is perfect because we can start on automation 2, and which means we can set up our little inserter creator, which will help us with the science. No flowing. Okay. So, how do we want to do this? Like I said, these are a little bit more complicated, so we'll need to make electronic circuits, right? So let's focus on that. We're going to need, I think, one more of these. Definitely going to need more arms. Tired of that. Okay, let's think about this again. Let's try and do something similar to this. We'll, I don't think that's fine. Let's just, oops. Let's just put it one apart. Can never have enough space in this game. Let's put it like that, maybe? Okay, so what I'm thinking here is actually move it a little bit more. Of course. Okay, so let's have this one. We'll pretend this one's making the regular inserters, right? So regular inserters need plate, gear wheels, and circuits. So we'll have this one making circuits, which need copper cables, right? Because to make circuits, you need 3 copper cable and 1 iron plate. And you can make 1 every half second, and copper plate you can make 2 every half second. So you can't use just one of these, otherwise you'll have a bottleneck here. So these need to be fed copper. How do we want this? Think like this. Those will be fed copper, and maybe like that. Perfect. Okay, so, and let's see, what needs iron? The electronic circuits need iron and the gear wheels need iron. These are going to be the gear wheels. So we'll have 2 feeding the gear wheel like that, and we'll have one of these feeding the electronic circuits, and then we'll have this coming in to feed that, and here's where those will come from. So those will feed that, and then we'll need those feeding there, and perfect. Automation 2 just finished. Let's just quickly make this. So as you can see, these take a lot to make, right? 9 plates, 5 gear wheels, 3 electronic circuits, and another assembling machine, which takes 9 plates, 5 gear wheels, and 3 electronic circuits. So that's definitely something we would want to automate in the future. Okay, so let's replace that, and we'll have this make actual inserters, right? So plate, gears, and electronic circuits, and all we need to do now is feed our plate into here. No. Okay, yes. Yeah, I thought that was going to be an unfortunate thing. Okay, so let's see. We need to get the power poles. That feeds a good amount of them, I think. Yeah. And then, oh, almost. Okay. And one more power pole, please. We'll feed that, and if we did it right, oh, we forgot one inserter here that needs to feed iron actually into the inserter. There we go, we have inserters being made, and let's actually move this. Let's get rid of this real quick. We're gonna need belt. We're gonna need to belt this. Like that. And we'll do this a little janky, but that's okay. Boom, now we have inserters on one side, belts on the other, and the only thing we have left to do is create our little green science assemblers, which we can put at least one here, and we'll have this make green science. Copy the recipe over, and just like that, we now have green science being made, which will also be fed to our labs, meaning we've just opened up a lot more possibilities. So that's gonna cut it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. And if you're on Twitch, stick around.